everyone, today we're going to be mosaicing a board which we're going to make for the kitchen. I thought that it would be nice just to show you how to make it, and we're going to be using it as a, you could say, as a tray in the kitchen, but it's just going to be put on the counter just so that we can put decorative items on it, like vases or whatever. Today we're going to be actually gluing the tiles down, and then tomorrow we'll have to carry on with it because obviously it has to dry overnight. So we'll carry on with it tomorrow after the glue is dry. So I thought I would just do an intro for the video. So long, even though Storm's not with me, but she will be with me in the video doing the board. So I hope that you enjoy the video. Okay, I just wanted to show you the products before we start with the video. So we've got the wood glue and the tile cutter and there's different tiles here. There's the glitter, the dark royal blue glitter, and then like the turquoise glitter, and then these like pearl cuts, offcuts. And this is a pack that I bought from Westpac, I think it was, or Lifestyle Centre, with family stuff in it. And then this one is the like shiny, I'm not too sure what, I think it's like iridescent, I think it's called. Yes, iridescent one. A ceramic tile, the board underneath it, which is what we'll be mosaicing.
Hey guys, so I'm Storm and I'm also going to be in this video today.
Alright, I already took these little family things out of the holder because it was a bit difficult to get them out. And now we're just going to place things around the board before we glue them, just so we can see if we're happy with what it looks like. So we're going to place these ones first, seeing as they are the focal points. Each of them have little sayings on it that's family orientated. So I think that you can do this color if you want. Just get the sticky stuff off. You can do that color and I'll do this color. And just remember, in between, I'm going to do this color, like my jersey. In between you can put these, so don't forget about them. Let's just put them, so we're going to put these ones, iridescent ones. So we've decided we're going to add these bigger ones and also the bigger ones of the iridescent one, because otherwise we're going to be here all day with these little tiles on the big board. Just to let you know, we've also decided to add in the black tiles so that the blue and the black can go nicely, fit nicely together, and then the iridescents we're going to put down the middle, almost like a divider between this side and that side. Yeah. 58 minutes.
Yeah.
At least with lots of time lapses.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what it looks like now. Just glued. Don't want to hold it too much to the side because it's still wet. It looks a little bit like a mess, but trust me, when you put the grout in, it looks a lot nicer. So we'll be back tomorrow to finish off with the grouting, because then it has to stay overnight to dry again, and then we can show you the end product when it's done. So we'll see you later again, because to you it'll be like in a few seconds. Bye!
Bye.
You're a child of mine. That's not my fault, I promise. Alright, so we're on a different day now to do the grouting of the board. Storm's not going to be joining me on this video because you can't have two people grouting the same board, and also she's gone to visit my parents, so she's not here. I'm all on my lonesome. But anyway, I'll be grouting it, and I'll show you what you need to grout, and then we can carry on from there. Okay, so what we've got is the board that we did. It is now dry, the glue, and then I have a little bowl that I do the grouting in. I use a little bowl because otherwise you can end up making too much grout, and then you sit with the grout, and you have to throw it away, and it's just a waste of money. So I use a little bowl to make sure that I don't do that. Then you also need your grout, which I'm gonna just show you like this. So it's powder. You can just go to any tile place or like a builder's warehouse or whatever, and you can ask for grout, tile grout. It's just a normal grout. Then I've got like a little butter tub that's I clean and I put water in so that when I need to wipe it off I've got that. And those little sponges that you clean your dishes with, I just took the hard part off and I use that to clean. And then I've got a little ice cream stick to mix the grout in here, and I've got a card. You know, they send you these cards in the post hoping that you'll actually open the account. So this is a Truewords card, and I never do, so I keep them because they actually work very well for when you want to grout and you want to wipe the grouting off, and that's when I'm not using my fingers, because most of the time I use my fingers. And then I've just got this, which I also sometimes use for the grouting, but today it's just so that I can get the grout out of the bag and into the little packet, into the little bowl. And that's all that we need. And I've got extra water here just to pour into the grout. Something that I need to just let you know is be careful. Pour very little bit at a time. It might irritate you because now it's taking long to mix the grout, but it does not, it's very deceiving. So you might throw in too much and then you have to add more grout to make it now to counteract the water. So we just pour a little bit at a time, mix it, pour a little bit at a time, mix it. The consistency needs to be almost like toothpaste, you know, like a toothpaste consistency. That works the best, because you also don't want it to be too wet, because like these tiles have got paper underneath them with these sayings on it. So if you put the grouting as too wet, then it's going to seep underneath that and mess the paper up, and it's going to look funny. So you also need to be careful of that. Okay, and we can get started. You'll see like some of this stuff has got these marks on, but as soon as we start wiping and cleaning, it'll come off. So don't worry about that and don't stress too much about it. Also, if you're going to, like usually what I would do, but I actually forgot. Usually what I would do is I'd paint the back of this board first before I do any tiling or grouting or anything. But I forgot, so I'll have to do it afterwards, and I hate it when I forget, because then you have to do the sides and then you get paint on the stuff, and yeah, so I want to kick myself. But just so for you to remember before you start it, which you hopefully didn't start with me, but yeah, paint it first not the one that not the side that you're going to be putting the tiles on, but the back and the sides. Paint those first. Okay. Another thing just to let you know, I've got it on plastic so that I don't work on my table, because I don't want to mess the table up, which I've done before in the past. So I don't work on the table when I do painting or grouting or anything like that. So get yourself some plastic. Yeah, so you can also use a black bag though if you want, or you can get yourself a drop sheet. They're just really large, the drop sheets, so you can like cut it up if you want to and keep it. You'll see that I've used this many times, so it doesn't look too wonderful, but it does the job. Okay, so let's get started. First just putting this much in, and then the water. So you can see from that powder and from that little bit of water, it's made the right consistency. I'm going to add some more. So that's consistency. And now I'm going to put it onto the board. It's not in, it won't be enough. I'll have to make some more, but for now I'm just going to do this one first. So what I do now is I just give it one like a wipe over. In the past I used to be very impatient, and then I would wipe and wipe and want it to be clean, and then I'd end up wiping the grout back out of the thing. So I'm not going to do that. So I learned my lesson. So I'm just going to just wipe it so that it's not so much excess on it, because then when it's dry it's difficult to get it off. So as you can see, there's like a milky tinge to it at the moment because of the grout that you've wiped on there, but most of the excess, you know, so it's not like big pieces of grout on there, that's mostly gone. So if I carry on wiping this now, like I say, I'll wipe the grout off. So that's just, we wait for it to dry now, and then we will go from there. But it takes about 24 hours to dry, especially now in winter. So I will carry on with this video probably tomorrow. That's the only thing about grouting, about mosaicing and stuff, is that it's not something that you can just do in a day. You need to, it takes a few days for the stuff to dry. So you first have to wait for the glue to dry, and then like now you'd have to wait for the grout to dry. And then when we're finished with that, we have to do the painting at the back, and then you have to wait for that to dry, and only then will you be done. And but it might take time, but at the end you have this beautiful product that you can now use in your house or give as a gift. So I'll see you, well, to you it's going to be in a few seconds, but for me, I'll see you tomorrow. We're back again. The grout is now dry, and as you can see, it leaves like a white sheen over the tiles, and then also obviously it's dirty on the back, so we need to now clean it before we can paint it. So I've got my little bowl of water again, and my sponge. And then also I've got a cloth that I use for when I'm painting. You might want to keep something around you. This one was in the wash yesterday. And we're going to wipe it off. And that's what it looks like now after we've buffed it. Now we need to paint, but I would prefer not to get, you have to be very careful when you're painting the sides because you don't want to get paint onto your tiles. So I'm going to be using this paintbrush. It's a thin-ish one. It's 1/4, it says 1, okay. And I'm using this paint. So this one was from Creative Talents. I bought it a while ago. The color is turquoise. I'm going to do the sides first. I've done the sides now, and now I'm going to do the back board. Change paintbrushes, and I'm going to use this one now. Just excuse them, they're old, but they still work. This is number 10 from the paintbrushes that you get from Aquatex. So what I'm going to do now is, with the paint, it doesn't take very long to dry, like 24 hours. It takes just maybe an hour or so. I don't know now with winter, but I'll come check it every now and again. And when it's dry, what I do is I spray it with varnish, because it's going to be in the kitchen, and you know there's lots of moisture in the kitchen and that, so I don't want it to come off or anything. So this is the varnish that I use. I used to use a cheap one, but it doesn't work. This one works like a charm. So it's a little bit more expensive. If you get it from Builder's Warehouse, it's about 140 Rand for a can, but it lasts quite long unless you make things every day, and it works very well. I don't have to like kill it with spray. I just do it once over and then it's done. So that's just a little tip from me. I don't know if you can get it overseas though. I suppose you can. I'm not sure. You'd have to go and check in more building places. And then I'll be back just now. Okay, so we're back again with the board. It's now dry, the paint is dry, and I also sprayed it with varnish, and it is now nicely finished on the front. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, you can say, autograph it. and put a date on. I always put a date on my stuff just so I can know when I made it, and then it's done. Done. And that is the board. It does take a bit of time, like I say, if you are mosaicing things, but otherwise it's nice in the end, because then you've got something that you've made and that you can be proud of. And obviously you can choose your own colors as well. And just remember to paint the back first next time, don't forget. Okay, so that's it. And that was the video with the kitchen board, you could say, mosaic board. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, can you please give the video a thumbs up? All my social media is in the description block below, including my blog. If you haven't subscribed already, please can you do so? I would really appreciate it. And if you click the little bell notification, it will inform you when I upload a video again. And I hope that you have a lovely day further. Goodbye.